It was a typical Tuesday afternoon in the bustling ITV studios in London when the atmosphere on the set of Loose Women suddenly shifted from light-hearted banter to intense confrontation, leaving viewers stunned across the nation. Hugh Grant, the charismatic British actor known worldwide for his roles in romantic comedies like Notting Hill and Four Weddings and a Funeral, had been invited on to the popular daytime talk show to promote his latest film project. The panel, featuring the outspoken Denise Welch alongside her co-hosts, started off cordially enough with questions about his career and personal life, but things took a dramatic turn when Denise began probing deeper into topics that Hugh seemed reluctant to discuss. As the conversation heated up, Hugh's usual charming demeanor gave way to visible frustration, his witty remarks turning sharp and defensive. Denise, never one to back down from a debate, pushed back with her signature directness, accusing him of evading questions about his views on certain social issues that had been circulating in the media. The exchange escalated quickly, with raised voices and pointed accusations flying back and forth, creating an uncomfortable tension that the other panelists tried desperately to diffuse. Studio audience members whispered among themselves, while producers in the control room exchanged worried glances, realizing this segment was spiraling out of control. What began as a promotional appearance transformed into a full-blown on-air clash that would soon make headlines, highlighting the unpredictable nature of live television and the clash of strong personalities. Many fans of Hugh Grant, who had tuned in expecting his trademark self-deprecating humor, were shocked to see him visibly agitated, his face flushing as he defended his privacy and career choices against what he perceived as aggressive questioning. Denise Welch, a veteran of the show and known for her candid opinions on everything from politics to celebrity culture, stood her ground, her voice rising as she challenged him on past public statements and rumored controversies. The moment the confrontation peaked, with Hugh standing up and declaring that he wouldn't tolerate being ambushed in such a manner, the producers made a swift decision to cut to a commercial break, but not before the damage was done. Social media erupted almost instantly, with clips of the heated exchange circulating rapidly, sparking debates about celebrity interviews, the boundaries of daytime TV, and whether Denise had crossed a line or simply held a public figure accountable. This incident wasn't just another tabloid moment. It represented a rare glimpse into the raw dynamics between a Hollywood star and a no-nonsense presenter, reminding everyone that even the most polished appearances can unravel in the heat of live discussion. As the show resumed after the break, the panel attempted to move on, but the shadow of the confrontation lingered, with viewers flooding the switchboards and online forums with their reactions, some praising Denise for her boldness and others criticizing the show for allowing the situation to escalate to the point where Hugh felt compelled to leave abruptly. Following the intense on-air clash, the producers of Loose Women found themselves in a difficult position, weighing the need to maintain the show's lively reputation against the risk of alienating high-profile guests like Hugh Grant. Denise Welch, who had built her career on being unfiltered and authentic, defended her approach in the green room afterward, arguing that celebrities should be prepared for tough questions rather than receiving softball interviews. Meanwhile, Hugh Grant, still visibly upset, reportedly gathered his belongings and exited the studio premises shortly after the segment, with sources close to him suggesting he felt the interview had veered into personal territory without prior agreement. The episode quickly became the talk of the town, with entertainment journalists scrambling to get statements from both parties involved. ITV executives held emergency meetings to assess the fallout, concerned about potential complaints from viewers and the impact on future bookings of A-list stars. Clips from the confrontation dominated YouTube and TikTok within hours, amassing millions of views as people analyzed every word and gesture exchanged between the two. Supporters of Hugh highlighted his long-standing contributions to British cinema and his right to privacy, while fans of Denise applauded her for not shying away from difficult topics, seeing it as a refreshing change from scripted celebrity chats. The incident also reignited discussions about the role of daytime television in holding public figures accountable, especially in an era where social media allows instant public scrutiny. As details emerged about the specific triggers of the argument, including disagreements over media representation and past tabloid stories involving Hugh, It became clear that underlying tensions had been simmering before the show even aired. Loose Women had a history of memorable moments with celebrity guests, but this one stood out for its raw emotion and the way it exposed cracks in the polished facade of showbiz interviews. Hugh's team released a brief statement expressing disappointment with the direction of the conversation, emphasizing that promotional appearances should focus on the work rather than personal attacks. Denise, on the other hand, appeared on subsequent episodes reflecting on the exchange with a mix of defiance and reflection, noting that live TV often brings out unexpected truths. The event sparked a wave of think pieces in newspapers and online publications, exploring themes of power dynamics in media, gender perspectives on confrontation, and the evolving expectations of audience engagement. Viewers who missed the live broadcast rushed to catch up on catch-up services, only to find that certain portions had been edited in the official upload, fueling conspiracy theories about censorship. Ultimately, the confrontation served as a reminder of the fine line between engaging television and uncomfortable spectacle, leaving both Hugh Grant's public image and Loose Women's format under renewed examination by industry insiders and casual watchers alike. In the days following the dramatic exit from Loose Women, Hugh Grant maintained a relatively low profile, choosing to address the incident indirectly through his social media channels with his characteristic dry wit that fans had come to love over the decades. Posts featuring humorous memes and subtle jabs at daytime talk shows circulated among his followers, helping to diffuse some of the tension while keeping the story alive in public discourse. Denise Welch, true to her outspoken nature, appeared on other media outlets to elaborate on her perspective, explaining that her questions stemmed from a genuine interest in authenticity rather than any personal vendetta against the actor. The broader entertainment industry watched closely as similar incidents from the past were revisited, drawing parallels with other celebrity panelist clashes that had made headlines. Public opinion remained divided, with polls on various platforms showing a near-even split between those who sided with Hugh's desire for a respectful interview and those who backed Denise's right to challenge guests on substantive issues. ITV, keen to mitigate any long-term damage to the show's brand, issued a carefully worded statement acknowledging the lively debate while reaffirming their commitment to balanced and entertaining content. Behind the scenes, bookers for future episodes reportedly became more cautious when selecting high-profile guests, opting for those with a track record of handling unpredictable conversations gracefully. The confrontation also boosted viewership numbers for Loose Women in the immediate aftermath, as curious audiences tuned in hoping for more fireworks. Though subsequent episodes returned to their usual mix of lifestyle topics and celebrity gossip, analysts in the media sector pointed out how such moments could either harm or enhance a presenter's reputation, with Denise gaining a reputation as a fearless interviewer among her admirers. For Hugh Grant, the event added another layer to his complex public persona, one that had evolved from the bumbling romantic lead to a more seasoned figure unafraid to speak his mind when provoked. Online forums buzzed with fan theories about what exactly was said off-camera and whether the producers had anticipated the clash. As weeks passed, the story began to fade from the front pages but continued to resurface in retrospective lists of memorable TV moments, serving as a case study in live broadcasting risks. Both individuals moved forward with their respective projects, but the incident left an indelible mark on how celebrity appearances on daytime TV were approached thereafter, encouraging more pre-interview negotiations and clearer boundaries. Reflecting on the entire episode months later, industry experts noted that the Hugh Grant and Denise Welch confrontation exemplified the challenges faced by long-running shows like Loose Women in balancing entertainment value with journalistic integrity. The panel's format, designed to encourage open dialogue among strong female voices, sometimes collided with the carefully curated images that Hollywood stars like Hugh preferred to project. Viewers who had followed both careers for years appreciated the contrast, Hugh's polished, often ironic style versus Denise's straightforward, no-holds-barred approach rooted in her own experiences in the spotlight. The event prompted discussions within television production circles about training for hosts on the escalating tense situations without compromising the show's energetic spirit. Social media influencers created reaction videos dissecting body language and vocal tones from the clip, turning a few minutes of live TV into content that generated thousands of comments and shares. Hugh Grant's subsequent appearances on more controlled platforms showed him addressing the topic with humor, which helped rehabilitate any temporary dip in public favor and reminded audiences of his enduring likability. Denise continued to thrive on Loose Women, with her segment ratings holding steady as her authenticity resonated with the core demographic. The incident also highlighted generational and cultural differences in communication styles, as older viewers tended to support the idea of respectful boundaries while younger ones enjoyed the unscripted drama. Broadcasters across the UK and beyond reviewed their own guest protocols, implementing more thorough briefings to avoid similar escalations. In the grand scheme of celebrity news cycles, this clash was relatively short-lived but memorable for its intensity and the way it captured authentic human emotions on camera. Fans of British television appreciated how it added a layer of unpredictability to an otherwise predictable daytime slot, keeping the medium fresh and engaging. As new guests rotated through the Loose Women panel, subtle references to the event occasionally surfaced in banter, serving as an inside joke among the hosts. For Hugh, it became one more anecdote in a career filled with quirky public moments, reinforcing his image as someone who values substance over superficial charm. Overall, the confrontation underscored the power of live television to create viral moments that transcend the original broadcast, influencing conversations about media responsibility and guest treatment for years to come. Delving deeper into the background of both figures involved reveals why their personalities were bound to create sparks when placed in such a high-pressure environment. Hugh Grant had spent decades navigating fame with a mix of charm and occasional reticence, often using humor to deflect invasive questions from the press. His body of work, spanning romantic leads to more dramatic roles in recent years, had earned him critical acclaim and a loyal fan base that appreciated his evolution as an artist. Denise Welch, on the other hand, had carved out a niche as a candid voice in British media, drawing from her personal struggles and triumphs to inform her opinions on the panel. Her willingness to tackle controversial subjects had both endeared her to audiences seeking real talk and occasionally landed her in hot water with more conservative viewers. When these two worlds collided on Loose Women, the result was an inevitable clash of styles that exposed differing expectations about what a celebrity interview should entail. Producers later admitted in off-the-record conversations that they had hoped for a lively debate but hadn't anticipated the rapid escalation. The aftermath saw increased interest in both individuals' upcoming projects, with Hugh's film gaining extra publicity from the buzz and Denise receiving invitations to guest on other debate-oriented shows. Media literacy experts used the clip in educational settings to illustrate concepts of framing, bias, and audience manipulation in television. Public figures from various fields weighed in on social platforms, offering perspectives on the importance of mutual respect during live appearances. As time distanced the event, it transformed from a shocking headline into a cultural reference point, mentioned in comedy sketches and podcast discussions about the quirks of British daytime TV. The story served as a cautionary tale for aspiring presenters and a reminder for celebrities to prepare for all possibilities when stepping into unscripted formats. Viewers who rewatched the available footage often noticed nuances they had missed initially, such as attempts by other panelists to intervene and the subtle shifts in studio lighting as the mood changed. In retrospect, the confrontation enriched the legacy of Loose Women by demonstrating its capacity for genuine, unfiltered moments amid the usual mix of fashion tips and recipe segments. Both Hugh and Denise emerged relatively unscathed in the long run, their careers continuing on parallel tracks, with this episode adding a colorful chapter to each biography. Looking back at the full arc of the Hugh Grant Loose Women incident, it stands as a testament to the unpredictable magic and occasional pitfalls of live television in the modern era. What started as a standard promotional slot evolved into a national talking point that united and divided audiences in equal measure, sparking conversations far beyond the confines of the studio. The event highlighted ongoing tensions between celebrity privacy and public curiosity, a theme that resonates across the entertainment landscape, as Loose Women continued its successful run, incorporating lessons from the experience into its production approach. The show maintained its reputation for a lively discussion while treading more carefully with sensitive guests. Hugh Grant, ever the resilient performer, channeled any lingering frustration into his creative work, delivering performances that fans praised for their depth and authenticity. Denise Welch's role on the panel solidified her status as a voice unafraid to challenge norms, inspiring a new generation of presenters to embrace candor. The digital age amplified the reach of the confrontation, turning fleeting seconds into enduring content that new viewers continue to discover years later. Industry analysts credit such moments with keeping traditional broadcast relevant in a streaming-dominated world, where unscripted drama can still capture widespread attention. Community forums and fan groups dedicated to British TV often revisit the topic during slow news periods, sharing personal recollections and updated analyses. Ultimately, the heated exchange between Hugh Grant and Denise Welch served as a vivid illustration of human dynamics under the spotlight, reminding us all that even seasoned professionals can find themselves in uncharted territory when egos, opinions, and live cameras converge. The story faded gracefully into entertainment history, but its impact lingered in the way future interviews were structured and the heightened awareness it brought to the responsibilities of both hosts and guests. In the end, it enriched the tapestry of UK television with a memorable burst of real emotion, proving that sometimes the most compelling content arises not from careful planning but from spontaneous clashes of strong wills. As new seasons of Loose Women unfold and Hugh Grant adds to his illustrious filmography, this chapter remains a fascinating footnote that captures the essence of celebrity culture in all its messy, engaging glory.